Summary of Your Pocket Therapist, Break Free from Old Patterns and Transform Your Life, written by Dr. Annie Zimmerman. Introduction. In a warmly lit room, the narrator sits on a sofa, facing a wise therapist with inquisitive eyes. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation, as everything is about to change. The narrator fidgets nervously, comparing the experience to the jittery excitement before a first date, though this is not the kind of secret rendezvous you'd share with friends in hushed tones during a bathroom break. No one knows the narrator is here. There's a palpable shame, a fear of judgment, in admitting to seeking therapy, a worry that others might perceive them as broken or crazy. The reason behind the therapy sessions is not a mental breakdown. The narrator is convinced their mental health is intact. Instead, they grapple with an overwhelming compulsion, an insatiable need to eat, regardless of diets, exercise routines, or attempts to control food intake. The act of stuffing their face until discomfort sets in becomes a daily ritual, leaving them feeling sluggish, ugly, and miserable. Desperation drives them to therapy, a place they never thought they'd end up. Despite skepticism about the effectiveness of therapy, the narrator pours out their struggles to the therapist. The therapist, with empathetic eyes, responds, "It sounds like you're in a lot of pain. Let's try to work it out together." A tentative agreement is made to meet weekly, and, for the first time in a while, a glimmer of hope flickers in the narrator's heart. Months pass, and the therapy sessions take an unexpected turn. Instead of fixating on food, the conversations delve into the narrator's past, childhood, relationships, desires, fears, and self-perception. The reasons that led them to therapy were not directly related to the issues they eventually unravel. The therapy becomes a journey through emotions, tears, anger, jealousy, shame, humiliation, and deep sadness. The narrator discovers a wealth of feelings within themselves that were previously unnoticed. One day, as the familiar urge to eat surfaces, the narrator hears the therapist's voice in their mind, urging them to notice what's going on in your body. A moment of reflection follows, a twinge of sadness, and a decision to forego the usual chocolate biscuits. A cathartic release unfolds, and tears flow freely. The narrator feels vulnerable, but also a little better. They realize that the act of eating was a way to numb deeper emotions, and the only thing wrong with them was not understanding the emotional turmoil beneath the surface. This revelation propels the narrator to become a psychotherapist, a decision influenced by a family deeply embedded in the world of therapy. They recognize that many psychological problems are attempts to cope with underlying pain, and the initial problems may be unrelated to the root cause. To share the life-changing insights gained from therapy, the narrator turns to social media, distilling complex psychological concepts into accessible posts. The response is overwhelming, revealing a collective hunger for depth and a quiet revolution in understanding mental health. The book that follows is a testament to this revolution. It offers a 5-step process for understanding emotions and overcoming suffering. The steps include getting curious, understanding the root cause, feeling the suppressed emotions, taking conscious actions, and repeating the process. The author acknowledges the nonlinear nature of healing, emphasizing that the journey is unique for each individual. Throughout the book, the author addresses common psychological struggles, both individual and relational. They stress the importance of self-awareness and understanding the true source of problems. The book is not positioned as a substitute for therapy, but as a guide to gaining self-knowledge and observing one's reactions and behaviors. Practical tools are provided to help readers navigate their own psychological landscapes. The author encourages readers to play detective in their lives, paying attention to feelings, thoughts, and associations. They emphasize the need to feel emotions rather than just intellectualize them. Healing, the author asserts, comes from emotional connection to past experiences and a gradual release of repressed feelings. As the book concludes, readers are invited to engage in an exercise, reflecting on their emotions and associations. The author reassures them that understanding oneself is not about having an intellectual awareness, but about feeling the emotions that have been kept at bay. They acknowledge that this journey may be scary, but the process of gently teaching the scared parts of oneself that it is safe to feel takes time. In 1,000 words, this narrative encapsulates the transformative journey of the narrator from a place of despair and compulsion to self-awareness and healing. It's a testament to the power of therapy, the complexity of human emotions, and the profound impact of understanding the underlying sources of psychological struggles. The book serves as a guide for readers to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and healing, armed with the tools of curiosity, understanding, and emotional connection. Chapter 1. In the quest for happiness, many individuals find themselves on a winding road, searching for the elusive state of contentment. Alva, a fictional character, personifies this pursuit as she grapples with an underlying dissatisfaction, despite outwardly positive aspects of her life. Her story becomes a lens through which we explore the intricate interplay between adult emotions and the often overlooked influence of childhood experiences. The narrative opens with a vivid portrayal of Alva's daily struggles, a life filled with mundane routines and attempts to find solace in activities like playing Candy Crush on her phone. Despite moments of joy, a persistent heaviness taints her existence. It is a feeling akin to moving through life like tar, an analogy that captures the suffocating weight of discontent. Alva's attempts to remedy her dissatisfaction take various forms, ranging from investing in the happiness industry with a new wardrobe to lifestyle changes such as quitting her job and traveling. However, these endeavors prove transient in providing lasting happiness. It is a familiar cycle. Moments of joy are overshadowed by the return of an inexplicable sorrow, a feeling Alva describes as the tar always returning. The turning point comes when Alva decides to seek professional help. Her decision to undergo therapy introduces the narrative to a therapist, a character whose role extends beyond the conventional boundaries of a clinical session. The therapist becomes a guide, leading Alva through a process of excavation, a journey into the depths of her subconscious, to unravel the layers of her emotional history. The therapist's methodology involves a deep exploration of Alva's childhood, a territory often viewed with skepticism. The text addresses the common question of why therapists are seemingly obsessed with childhood. The therapist offers a compelling explanation. The majority of brain development occurs between birth and 3 years, and by the age of 5, the brain is nearly fully grown. This crucial developmental period shapes the foundation of our emotional responses and understanding of the world. The concept of adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, is introduced, highlighting that trauma, both big and small, during these formative years can have profound consequences on mental health. The text challenges the assumption that a happy childhood necessarily shields individuals from lasting effects. Even seemingly minor experiences, such as the birth of a sibling or high expectations in school, are acknowledged as potential sources of distress. The narrative delves into the therapy sessions, providing a glimpse into Alva's internal struggles. The therapist, recognizing Alva's fear and resistance, employs a curious and empathetic approach. Therapy is presented as a collaborative journey, with the therapist guiding Alva to connect with buried emotions and suppressed memories. A pivotal moment surfaces when Alva recounts a childhood memory involving her father's unexpected outburst. Playing innocently with a football triggers an angry response, leaving Alva frozen in fear. The therapist identifies this as a crucial point where Alva learned to repress her emotions, particularly anger and fear, to maintain the love and connection she needed for survival. The narrative skillfully weaves in the therapist's insights about the impact of parental influence on a child's emotional responses. The lack of emotional expression or communication within the family environment, coupled with a parent's anxiety or sensitivity, inadvertently teaches a child to suppress their feelings. These early lessons, stored in the unconscious, become guiding beliefs that shape adult behaviors. The text navigates the delicate territory of trauma, distinguishing between big T traumas, such as life-threatening experiences, and small t traumas, which might be distressing but are not as severe. The therapist emphasizes that trauma is not solely defined by the event itself, but by the emotional and physical response it elicits. This distinction opens a nuanced understanding of how different individuals can experience similar events with varying degrees of impact. The healing journey is portrayed as a spectrum, acknowledging that the complexity and pain of recovery depend on the severity of one's experiences. The text contends that childhood, irrespective of being perceived as good or bad, shapes individuals in positive and negative ways, continuing to influence their lives into adulthood. An insightful exploration unfolds regarding the unconscious beliefs formed during childhood. The text asserts that these beliefs, often unacknowledged, guide adult behaviors and decision-making. Individuals might develop limiting beliefs, such as not being good enough or unworthy of love, based on early experiences that taught them what was safe and unsafe in the realm of emotions. The narrative takes a moment to dispel the misconception that therapy aims to blame parents. Instead, it emphasizes that parents did their best given their circumstances. The focus shifts towards fostering curiosity about oneself and understanding how childhood experiences shape adult behaviors. This shift encourages readers to approach their own pasts with a sense of exploration and understanding rather than blame. The text concludes with a call to curiosity, urging readers to reflect on their own childhoods without judgment. The therapist's insights, drawn from both professional knowledge and personal experience, serve as a guide for unraveling the layers of one's emotional history. The story becomes a universal invitation to embark on a path of self-discovery, acknowledging the intricate interplay between past experiences and present well-being. In essence, the text serves as a narrative of hope, suggesting that by understanding the roots of our emotions and behaviors, we can pave the way for healing and, ultimately, find the happiness we seek. Through all the story, readers are reminded that the journey towards contentment involves courage, self-reflection, and a compassionate exploration of one's own narrative.